All right. So I was saying that this analysis is complete because now we know what is the electric field inside, what is the outside, what is on the surface. Surface electric field can also be written like this because what was the formula? General formula was electric field outside or on the surface. That formula was this: outside or on the surface is sigma upon epsilon or epsilon 0 r square upon r square. Now I know when I say r square upon r square, I am not using the word capital. It means the r in the denominator should be the small r. But if I am on the surface, then the distance from the center is going to be capital R. So capital R square upon capital R square will become 1. So answer is sigma upon epsilon. All right. That completes this analysis. Fine. So it was a charged shell. It as good as a charged shell. Because even if you have a solid conductor or hollow conductor, if it is a conductor, charge will be on the surface. So it is as good as a charged shell. It is as good as a charged shell. Fine, sir. Okay. Next. Inside झालं, outside झालं, graph झाला. Okay. Electric field due to infinite line charge. Okay. Just give me a second. Fine. We have to rejoin. Okay. For this derivation, we need to rejoin. Let us find out electric field due to infinite line charge or infinitely charged cylinder. Infinitely charged cylinder. Write down. Second application of Gauss theorem. Electric field due to infinitely long or very long, they may say simply long, infinitely long charged cylinder. Let us take a conducting cylinder or wire. Wire is in cylindrical shape, so let's write the name of the shape rather than the name of the object. Fine, sir. That's our object. It extends up to infinity. The object extends up to infinity. All right, sir. Fine. This is the radius of our object, so it will be written as capital R. Okay. The charge will be definitely residing on the surface. Charge will be definitely residing on the surface. All right, sir. Fine. Now here we cannot have the concept of charge per unit area because what I am saying is this. Of course, if you forcefully want to apply, you can apply, no doubt, because charge is ultimately distributed on the area. No doubt you can apply it, but I should avoid it. Why? Because the object is infinitely long in one dimension. Okay, object is infinitely long in one dimension. So what I would rather suggest is this. I will consider this much length. I will measure entire charge on the surface and charge entire charge upon this much length so that I can find out charge per unit length. This becomes easier for me. Of course, you can forcefully find out the surface area and the charge per unit area. That you can do, absolutely you can do, no problem. Okay, but the object is infinitely long, so one of the ways is chosen, and here the way which the generally books are choosing, and I am also suggesting the same way because that has been done to make the things easy. Okay, so here in this case, whether it is a wire or a cylinder, they might give you charge per unit length. Even if they give you charge per unit area, absolutely no problem. How to find out curved surface area? 2 pi r into L. 2 pi r into L. Okay, because charge is only going to be on curved surface area. This circular surface you are never going to find because they are at infinity. So charge is only on the curved surface area. So forget about these circular surfaces. Just forget about them. It's as good as a wire. You can imagine a wire. Fine, sir. Now I want to find out electric field here. All right. So from the axis of the cylinder, we will take a perpendicular distance to the given point as small r. Okay. And now the same things, we have to draw a Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface should be such that it is passing through given point, and it should be somewhat symmetrical to your system. Our system is a cylinder, so Gaussian surface will also be chosen as a cylinder. Okay. Why we are doing so? You will observe it.